Hello, this is The Scale of Justice. That program on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority that gives you an opportunity to know at a deeper level happenings in the justice sector of Nigeria. I am Femi Okeowo with the pleasure of welcoming you to this edition. 4,350 law candidates have been called to the Nigerian bar. This is the second call to the bar ceremony since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. The first call after the pandemic was in September 2020, and now this. And both have been held at the Eagle Square, of course, in compliance with the protocol of COVID-19. But that is not the most significant thing about this most recent call. For us on The Scale, what excites us most is that one of us on the judiciary desk of the Nigerian Television Authority is now a full-fledged lawyer. He is Dele Atobi. You have seen him a couple of times anchoring this program and on numerous other occasions reporting the justice sector on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. This is where we're going to start this program from. Olabode Arewa is our guide in that segment.
You may now put on your wings.
Those are the new wigs taking the oath of allegiance to be faithful ministers in the Temple of Justice. 4,350 candidates successfully scaled through the 2021 bar final examinations. Family and friends were on hand to felicitate with them on the special occasion.
The new legal practitioners, our learned friends, can be summed up in 4 words: diligence, vigilance, discipline, and innovation. If they imbibe this, the spirit of these words and make it part of their life as they practice the honorable profession, they will succeed.
Well, is to generally congratulate all the new wigs who have been called today and to tell them that their lives cannot be the same again. It's going to be a totally different situation. We are happy to welcome them to the noble profession. We are all keen into the concern of the public with respect to our administration of justice, and that's why you can see that we're trying to carry our own manners of justice sector reforms. So definitely we are on this, with the public, and we'll continue to do whatever we can do in that regard. It's work in progress.
They need to just make sure that they follow the rules of professional ethics to the core. That's it. Once they comply, they won't fall into any pitfall. But if they miss any one of them, it could be calamitous for them. Yes.
But what about the public? What would you tell them to support?
Of course, the public not to even encourage, although even if they encourage them to do anything that is unprofessional, they must resist it.
For the new wigs, it is a dream come true.
Wow, experience in Nigerian law school it's a memory I want to keep forever. Like, there were ups and downs, especially with the COVID-19 virus that affected a lot of the whole system.
I believe it's a privilege for one to be called to the bar, and being called to the bar goes with responsibilities. Responsibility of being an officer of the law and of the court, and being responsible to the profession itself, and ensuring that we work together with our senior colleagues in the legal profession to ensure that the interest of the bar is protected and preserved. Journalists are expected to advance his course by seeking for knowledge, and I went to study law because I believe strongly that there was the need, as at that time, for me to really advance my knowledge, to increase my knowledge about the legal profession.
I want to continue to serve to assist, particularly in the areas of improving law, justice, the cause of justice in Nigeria. And having also for years, before 1998, also had my own engagement with law in the UK. I think that it's just the necessary thing to do to achieve this, as not just to have been a lawyer who has been to university for years, but also to be able to practice in your own country. And that's why this has been done. And to also encourage other people that it's not about, about age, about what you have been or whatever it is, but to humble yourself and to be able to understand that career improvement, career reinvention, continuous improvement, continuous learning is an essential ingredient of our humanity.
The next is to move into the challenge, because the challenge is very big. What is the burden we have now is heavier than the wig we bear now. As we wear this wig and gown, so the burden ahead of us is even heavier than the wig and gown. So the challenge outside the world is even greater. But we are ready to overcome it by the grace of God. As we are able to finish that one, or to finish to be cultivar, by the grace of God, we are going to overcome the next challenge.
I think my plan here is to work with those indigents and the number of litigants that are waiting trial to see how we'll decongest the prison, how to help the indigents get justice.
Chairman Body of Benchers, Justice Body Revival, in a charge, advised them to sustain the tradition of discipline associated with the legal profession.
The practice of law is not a right, but a privilege. It is a privilege that can be lost should you fail to live up to the requisite professional standards imposed upon you by virtue of your entry into the community of lawyers. You must therefore strictly adhere to the provisions of the rules of professional conduct and maintain best practices at all times. Along with the pleasures and privileges of practice come many responsibilities. Chief among these responsibilities will be the duty to serve the public ethically, diligently, and competently as members of a learned and noble profession. You will be required to carry out your duties in a professional manner. This entails demonstrating a high sense of civility, honesty, integrity, and compliance with laid-down rules and regulations. You must commit yourself to the fair administration of justice and to doing your part in facilitating true access to justice. Client representation. As a lawyer, you are expected to represent or defend your client when called upon. In so doing, you are to remain committed to the best interests of your client. This must, however, be within the purview of the law. This commitment will require you to understand your role in the adversarial process. Clients who seek your advice are often overwrought, angry, and defensive. When that happens, they legitimately will expect you to convey their feelings of injustice and outrage. They may also, however, insist that you adopt a position that will require you to relax or ignore your duties as a professional. You must have the wisdom and the courage to refuse to act for a client when the client's instructions will cause you to violate an ethical duty. The legal practitioner's disciplinary committee. One of the vital functions of the body of benchers is the discipline of every lawyers. The body performs this important role through the legal practitioners disciplinary committee, which is a committee of the body of benchers established by Section 10 of the Legal Practitioners Act 1962 as amended. The committee is responsible for considering and determining any case where it is alleged that a person whose name is on the roll has conducted himself in a disreputable manner in his capacity as a legal practitioner. The LPDC may discipline erring legal practitioners whose conduct negates the sacrosanct standards of the profession or amount to infamous conduct in a professional respect.
They have also been groomed in the best ethics and ethos of our noble profession. Together with other academic and non-academic members of staff of Nigerian Law School, I've closely monitored these aspirants during their training and vouched for each and every one of them as men and women of learning and character, as demanded by our august body. The screening committee of a distinguished body has successfully perused the records of each of the aspirants and found them worthy to be presented for call to the Nigerian bar.
Among recent advancements recorded by the Council of Legal Education are the new campuses of the Nigerian Law School in Yenagoa and Port Harcourt. The message from the body of benchers to the new legal practitioners is that they must strive to sustain the standard that the legal profession has gained for itself in the Nigerian society as ministers in the temple of justice.
Congratulations, Dele Atumbi and the several others who we now expect would be enriching the practice of law in Nigeria. As some are coming into the profession, there are some who have reached the pinnacle of their career and, having given so much, have to be celebrated as they bow out of office. One such person is the immediate past Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice, Mr. Dayo Akpata, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Indeed, he is the first to become a Senior Advocate of Nigeria as a Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Justice. He retired very recently after clocking the mandatory age of 60. If his performance at the Ministry of Justice was generally adjudged as unique, then his exit went in the same line. Aliu Tuku has that story for us.
Men and women dancing their way into the Olusegun Obasanjo Auditorium at the Federal Ministry of Justice in a carnival-like manner in different attires, who converged to celebrate a man of repute with more than 30 years of experience in legal, human, and public administration. Dayo Akpata began his professional career in 1986 as a prosecuting officer for the Nigerian Customs Service while serving as co-member, and subsequently secured appointment into the Federal Ministry of Justice in 1987, where he grew through the ranks to become a Solicitor General. His wealth of experience, his associates say, led to facilitation of reforms in the justice sector.
As you are aware, we are celebrating the unbroken record of commitment and professionalism, which has been demonstrated by this sound legal mind who is exiting the federal service of our dear country. Let me place on record the commendable consistency of the Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary, Mr. Dayo Akpata, SAN, in the implementation of policies and programs of the ministry. I can say with pride that the ministry has been lifted to higher grounds and has indeed become an envy of others.
It is worthy to note that Dayo Akpata was appointed on secondment as the Solicitor General and Permanent Secretary, Ekiti State Ministry of Justice, from 2012 to 2014, where he designed several interventions for the promotion of justice and fairness.
Elijah told Elisha to keep his eyes on the ball If you can only see when the chariots will come,
for he is a jolly good fellow, for he is a jolly good fellow.
Encomiums from family, friends, and associates attest to his remarkable slate.
Dayo is a wonderful person, and it has spoken for itself today. We wish him well. We know it will be well with him. We know that all we'll hear about you will be great things, good things. We wish you good life, long life, healthy life. Just as has been prophesied today, may we live for it to happen.
Dayo Akpata became the Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice in 2017, a position he held until his retirement.
Representing Nigeria, a country statement in the legal consequence of separation of Chagos Archipelago from Mauritius at the Special Session of International Court of Justice in Hague, Netherlands. This is my first time of being before 14 judges in the World Court. I thank God for that opportunity. I now come to staff welfare. It is on record that significant improvement in staff welfare and industrial harmony characterized my tenure as the SGF. Some notable achievements I quote: regular payments of welfare allowance to all staff of the Ministry of Justice for the celebration of Easter, workers, and even the big Salah which we are coming. 100% up-to-date payment of rope allowance, regular payment of harmonized salary and allowances to the law officers and institution to IDP's platform, establishment of efficient servicing medical clinic within ministry, establishment of e-library for staff as well as children library, regular and timely payment of sporting activities of the staff, renovation of ministry headquarters and operating its facilities, incentives to the physically challenged staff of the ministry, ensuring industrial harmony and fair treatment of all staff. This, I want to say, would not have happened unless I have an Attorney General who has given us 100% support.
He was conferred with the title of the Senior Advocate of Nigeria in recognition of his excellent performance in serving the nation's legal system in 2019. And the celebration continues for the man with many parts who bows out of the public service and walks away into retirement life.
Yes, another congratulations to Mr. Dayo Akpata, who will now become a private solicitor and advocate. He has been a solicitor for the federal government, the chief solicitor and advocate for the federal government of Nigeria. Now he is a private person, and let's hope that he has a full life of good practice ahead of him as he goes into private practice. Now, let's take Marachuku Omenka as he gives you happenings in the courts on our segment called From the Courts.
Justice Muhammad Adfa of the Kwara State High Court sitting in Ilorin convicted and sentenced 3 undergraduate students to various jail terms. The convicts were dragged to court by the Ilorin Zonal Office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) over conspiracy bordering on love, scam and internet fraud. They are Abubakar Abshat Obayemi, a final year student of the University of Ilorin, Alimi Abiodun and Idowu Rasak, who are students of the Kwara State University. The 3 convicts pleaded guilty to the charges preferred against them during the trial. Consequently, Adalsat Akweyemi was sentenced to 6 months imprisonment and also ordered to forfeit his iPhone HP laptop, which was used as instrument in committing the crime, and a draft of 50,000 naira he raised as restitution to the federal government. The Abiodun, the judge sentenced him to 1 year and 3 months imprisonment and also ordered the forfeit of his iPhone and the sum of 352,000 naira draft raised by him to the federal government. Idowu bagged 6 months imprisonment at Madalak Correctional Center and was ordered to forfeit his 2014 Toyota Venza, 2 iPhone HP laptop, the sum of 444,000 naira in his first bank account to the federal government. The sentence are without option of fine. The Kaduna State High Court has commenced the trial of Sani Adamu Galadima over the kidnapping of 6-year-old boy Muhammad Kabiru, which led to his death. Suspect Umaru Mansara and Muhammad Nzafi, both of them deceased now, were said to have kidnapped Muhammad on April 24, 2021 in Badrawa area of Kaduna State and took him to Kano State, where they murdered him after collecting ransom. Sani Adamu, said to be an ex-military personnel, said he held the boy's leg, while one Omar Masara, a water vendor, covered his nose. However, the only surviving suspect, Sani Adamu, is being tried on a 2-count charge of conspiracy to commit kidnapping contrary to punishable under Section 2471 and 2476 of the Kaduna State Penal Code. The trial is slated to continue on October 6, 2021.
Yes, that's the much we have for you on the scale today. We have largely concentrated on ceremonies and then brought you recent happenings in the courts. But those ceremonies are ceremonies that you would wish to know of. They are significant in the legal practice. They are to encourage those who are just coming in and encourage those who are on the job to do their utmost for the law practice in Nigeria. We'll be seeing you with other happenings in the justice sector in the days to come, and we'll hope you'll always be our guest as you have been today. Thank you, and we'll see you again.